It's January in 2018. Time to talk about what we enjoyed last year. So this is my picks for the best movie of the year, TV show of the year, and video game of the year. In no particular order. Also, ScottyMiLad has grown since last year, so you're going to be hearing from other different members of what their respected blank of the year was.
My favorite movie of 2017 was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Because I loved the first Guardians, I was a bit worried that Volume 2 would disappoint. But to my surprise, it was great. I loved that the original cast all came back and the new ones worked well. Like most people, I loved Groot and what they did with Baby Groot and how all through the movie, Rocket is basically young Groot's guardian, if you will. Also, the revelation of Star-Lord's dad was a surprise for sure, and that's all I'll say about that. While on the other hand, Yondu, the guy I didn't previously like, ends up doing something similar to what Groot did in the first movie, which seemed out of character for him. Or was it? Now, we see that he always did care for Peter and was protecting him all along. I kind of see a pattern here. I wonder if in Guardians Volume 3, we'll see another crew member sacrifice themselves for their friends. Maybe Drax or maybe Rocket. But either way, I can't wait to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, as well as all the other movies coming out this year.
And my best movie of 2017 has to be Star Wars The Last Jedi. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say I've said that every Star Wars movie that's come out in the past 3 years has been like my favorite, and I think that's just me being super excited. But this time I know that this one is like my favorite Star Wars film out of all 9 of them. Yeah, Rogue One, that makes it 9. So here's why. It had me gripped to the screen and everything I was seeing and taking in. And even when like you think the movie should end and then it keeps going, and everyone in the theater knew that like, oh, it could have ended now, but it has to keep going. That part didn't make me tired. That didn't make me want to like die in my seat. I just really enjoyed it. I loved that the story was a lot about overcoming failure. They really did a lot to take advantage of how long it's been since we've seen Luke Skywalker. They really took advantage of that time between to kind of deconstruct everything that people have built up in their minds over all these years since Return of the Jedi. And they deconstructed that and said like, hey, your favorite hero, your favorite protagonist is problematic. You know, they really did something with that to, I guess, just humanize a legend. And I thought that was great. Every character has a story arc to do with failure, and I just thought that was amazing. I felt that Rian Johnson's take on Star Wars was really adventurous, and it has been what the series has needed for so long, because they always have held to these tropes that George Lucas is known to be, you know, successful. Everybody at Lucasfilms knows to be successful, but this time, it's not that it felt experimental, it just felt like this was a movie in the new trilogy. But one hang-up I did have was kind of how they wrapped up Rose and Finn's storyline. I wasn't too big a fan of kind of how cheesy that ended, but that's not to say that I wish that they had just done that scene again, and I don't know, had it be a bit more believable, because it did feel a bit too cheesy. That, or just give Rose a lot more opportunities to be that crazy, optimistic kind of character that they presented us with. That's not to say that I didn't like their story, that I didn't like that character. I loved that character, I loved that story, and I cannot wait for episode 9. I really can't. I don't know how this Han Solo movie is gonna go this year, and I really don't care. I want episode 9.
both movies dealt with someone taking care of a family member who is suffering a illness, more specifically a mental illness. And unfortunately, this was a message that was very real to me. I thought both movies handled the topic incredibly well and incredibly realistically, showing the kindness, frustrations, and the amount of love that goes into dealing with something like this. But I'm just very thankful that I saw both these movies and that both these movies could affect me in a way I never thought they would. And I'm just very, very thankful to the cast and crews of both movies making such an exceptional film, treating something very serious in a very easy way to explain to others of what you're going through. There are some scenes in Logan, especially with Wolverine and Charles, that I will never forget because they just really stuck out to me. And I'm very impressed that a movie could affect me like that. And I think, when something does that, it shows the hallmark of some really, really great art.